The neon lights of the fast food restaurant flickered against the rain-slicked parking lot, casting an eerie glow across the nearly empty dining room. Sarah, a lanky teenager with her hair pulled back in a tight ponytail, methodically wiped down tables as the clock ticked closer to closing time. The tinny sound of 80s pop music drifted from the overhead speakers, providing a stark contrast to the growing unease in her stomach. As she approached the trash receptacle, Sarah noticed a man standing motionless before it. His hands tapped rhythmically against his thighs, perfectly in sync with the beat of the music. Something about his stillness sent a chill down her spine. Sarah's heart raced as she cautiously circled around him, her eyes darting to his waistband, searching for any sign of a weapon, finding nothing obvious. She tried to shake off her paranoia, just another weirdo, she thought, attempting to reassure herself. Suddenly the man's voice cut through the music. "I need to see the manager," he said, his tone unnervingly calm. Sarah nodded, backing away towards the counter. As she turned to call for her boss, she felt a rough hand grab the back of her uniform. Before she could scream, cold metal pressed against her temple. "Tell them to open the door," the man growled, gesturing towards the locked kitchen area. Sarah's voice trembled as she relayed the demand. The click of the lock echoed through the restaurant, sounding like a death knell in her ears. "Good," the man said, releasing his grip on Sarah. Now everyone on the floor. Now Sarah sank to her knees, her whole body shaking. Beside her, a co-worker began muttering frantically, "Hail Mary, full of grace." The robber's footsteps receded, but his final command lingered in the air. "Don't move until I say so." Seconds stretched into minutes, each moment an eternity of terror. Was he still there? Would he come back? The questions raced through Sarah's mind as she stared at the grimy tile floor, afraid to even breathe too loudly. Finally, after what seemed like hours, sirens wailed in the distance. Help was coming, but the damage was done. Sarah knew she'd never feel safe in this place again. The next day, as Sarah sat numbly in the police station, giving her statement, an officer burst into the room. "We got him," he announced triumphantly. The story that unfolded seemed almost too ridiculous to be true. The robber, it turned out, worked at the store next door. He'd gone straight back to work after the robbery, as if nothing had happened. But in a moment of panic or stupidity, he'd thrown the stolen traveller's checks into the trash at his own workplace. His boss had found them and called the police. As Sarah listened to the details, a new kind of fear settled over her. How many other seemingly normal people were capable of such violence? How could she ever trust anyone again? That night, as she lay in bed staring at the ceiling, Sarah jumped at every sound. The neighbour's dog barking, a car passing by the house settling. Each noise sent her heart racing, convinced that danger lurked just outside her door. She closed her eyes, trying to will herself to sleep, but the memory of cold metal against her skin kept her wide awake. In the quiet darkness of her room, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that somewhere out there, another threat was waiting, and next time she might not be so lucky.